all of you in my YouTube channel. In this video, I will teach you the first chapter of class 10th, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. The writer G.L. Fuentes was a Mexican novelist, poet and journalist. His full name was Gregorio Lopez Fuentes. He was born on November 17, 1895. He began writing at the age of 15, just as the Mexican Revolution broke out. He is best known for being one of the most important chroniclers of the Mexican Revolution and its effects. In his childhood, Fuentes spent much time in his father's general store, where he came in contact with the Indians, farmers and laborers of the region, whose lives he would later describe with deep insight. And this particular chapter, Letter to God, is also about a farmer named Lencho. Fuentes also wrote a series of short stories for children entitled Cartas de Niños. He was awarded the National Prize of Arts and Science in 1935. He died on December 10, 1966 in Mexico City. The story A Letter to God is about a farmer. It is already discussed that the author had personal information about the farmers and he had a close understanding about the lives of farmers. He understood the pain and suffering of the poor farmers. In this story, he tried to express the difficult life of a farmer. A farmer does hard work throughout the year and there is no certainty if he would get his crops or not. So the author here projected the pain of the farmers. He also tries to mean that the job of farming is full of uncertainties because the farmers do not know do not know if they will get their crops or not. And such a thing had been projected in this chapter. A farmer Lencho who had cultivated his land and he was hoping for a good harvest. He was just waiting for a good summer so that the harvest could be completed. He predicted that it would rain soon, and his prediction came to be true, and it started raining. And Lencho became extremely happy as he thought that rain would provide him a good harvest. Everything was fine, but the rains changed into hailstone and his whole crop got destroyed. So the whole family was in deep tension how they could spend the whole year. So that is the reality of the farmers. In our country, there is a slogan that Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan. You understand, means with the help of this text, you will be able to understand the hardships, difficulties and uncertainties of the farmers. And after reading this story, your love and respect towards the farmers will be increased. The food that you eat, it comes from them. So instead of insulting them, we have to respect them because the food comes from them. And for these, they would have to face a lot of problems. They are totally dependent upon nature. Nature could be their friend or nature could be their enemies. But the author here added something different. The author tried to make us understand that the problems of farmers could only be understood by God. And here in this particular chapter, the postman was the representative of God. He was so much shaken with the deep faith of Lencho that he decided to ready him, and he sent the money, that was 70 pesos. So this story dealt so many things. The story dealt about the job of the farmers. The poet, the story also tells us that the process of cultivation is much dependent upon nature. Sometimes the nature is cruel and they get nothing. This story also told about the deep faith in God, and faith. The author also said that that faith can move mountains. Another part of the story got projected, that was blind faith. Lencho had deep faith, but his faith was little bit blind, because when he got the letter which contained 70 pesos, he did not try to understand how the letter came. He believed that it came from God, and he considered the post officials as criminals. So with the help of this story, so many things got connected. The lives of the poor people, the lives of the farmer, and the lives of the official people. Here it is said that sometimes whatsoever is seen and whatsoever is understood are somehow different. Sometimes we think that a man is a culprit, but actually it is not. Now let's come to the main part of the text. Lencho's house was situated at the top of a low hill, wherefrom he could see the whole valley. He could see the flowing river, he could see his crop fields. His crops or his harvest was almost ready. It means the flowers promised a good harvest to him, just it needed little bit rain. Throughout the morning, Lencho was looking towards the northeast. He was expecting rain. The children were playing outside. His wife was cooking food, and Lencho predicted that it would rain. His wife also agreed that it would rain, but she attached that rain could only come if there would be the will of God. If God would provide rain, then it would happen. It meant the family completely trusted God. Lencho's prediction came true. Here you'll have to understand the meaning of prediction. Prediction means foretell. So Lencho's prediction came true and it started raining. Lencho immediately compared the big drops with 10 cent pieces and the small ones with 5 cent pieces. Lencho compared raindrops to coins because raindrops would provide him a good harvest, and good harvest would fulfill the demands of the families, and these harvest could be turned out as money. Therefore, the children of Lencho became extremely happy. They went outside to enjoy the rain, but the rain did not last long. But rain did not fall for a long time. Suddenly a strong wind started blowing, and along with heavy wind, hailstones started falling. Lencho hoped that it would stop soon, but actually it did not stop. It continued for some time, and when it completely stopped, Lencho went outside to see, and he was completely shocked because the whole crop field got destroyed. As I have already told you that a farmer is completely dependent upon nature. Sometimes nature turns to be their enemy and destroys everything. In Lencho's case it happened. The crop field was the source of survival for him, and it was lost. You could understand that what would be the reaction of Lencho and his family. They knew very well that they would not be able to survive for the next year to cultivate the land, as they had nothing. Lencho, on that night, Lencho was very much upset. Lencho thought that if a plague of locusts came, there would remain some crops, but the hailstone destroyed it completely. Nothing remained. That was the sorrowful night for everyone. They did not understand what to do, but they had one hope from God. Lencho was a farmer. He did hard work in the field like an ox, but Lencho was a literate man. He knew how to write a letter. So he decided to express his pain to God because he knew that God made the universe, and he also believed that the universe is maintained and looked after by God. So he had gone to the post office. He had written a letter in which he mentioned his whole problem, that his crop had been destroyed. So to cultivate the land once again and to survive, Lencho wanted or needed 100 pesos. He needed 100 pesos, and the letter had been dropped in the box. The letter is received by the letter is taken by the post man. When he saw the address, he started laughing because the letter was written to God. In his life, he had never seen such type of address. For the first time in his whole career, someone tried to make a communication to God. He had given the letter to the postmaster. He was a very amiable, friendly type of man. He also loved to see the letter, but he was deeply shaken by the faith of that man. He decided to help Lencho so that his faith towards God could not have been broken. But the amount was too big. 100 pesos was a huge amount. So the postmaster started collecting money. He had collected money from his friends, from his employees, and he himself given some part of his salary. But he was unable to fulfill Lencho's demand. Only 70 pesos got collected. He had kept it in the envelope and signed one word, that was God. The next Sunday, Lencho came. Without any surprise, he received the letter from postman and became angry to see 70 pesos inside the letter. According to Lencho, God could never make mistake. Lencho thought that God had sent him 100 pesos, but the employees of the post office had stolen 30 pesos. So without any consideration, he blamed them as culprits or criminals, and he also wrote another letter to God in which he requested God to send him 30 pesos, and that time the letter must not be sent through the post office because all the post officials were criminals. So the story is very touching. The author tried to project the pain of a farmer, that how the farmers are dependent upon nature, and sometimes nature became cruel to them and they had to lose everything. And at the time of going to the market, we bargain to them. We think that we are paying much money to them. Actually, that is not the fact. If you compare their earning to their hard works, they get nothing. The merchants take the profit. So here, due to the farmers, we are able to feed our families. But sometimes these farmers were unable to feed the families. They remain hungry. They remain in starvation. So we should pay respect towards them. So that is the main summary that I have tried to do. Now I will discuss some word meanings that already there, and you have to understand it. So some word meanings that I will tell. The first word meaning is crest. Crest means top of a hill. Second word meaning is dotted. Dotted means full of. Downpour. Downpour means heavy rain. Intimately. Intimately means closely. Intimately means closely. Then after harvest. Harvest means agricultural crops. Valley. Valley is a low area of land between hills or mountains. And then shower. Shower is a light rain, means drizzle. Predict. Predict means forecast or foretell. Approach. Approach means come near or come closer. Then regarded. Regarded means consider or think. Resemble. Resemble means look like or be alike. Solitary. Solitary means lonely and alone. Amiable. Amiable means friendly. Contentment means satisfaction. So along with that, you'll have to note down some questions that are very important, and I hope you can easily answer these questions. First question: who was Lencho? what was his main problem. Next question. Give a brief description of the view from Lencho's house. Third question. What did Lencho compare the raindrops to and why? This question is very important, so please try to find out the answer. Why did Lencho write a letter to God? Fifth question. Why and how did the postmaster help Lencho? Question number 6. How much money did Lencho need? How much did he get? Question number 7. How did the postmaster collect money for Lencho? Question number 8. Why did Lencho not want the money to be sent through mail? Question number 9. How did the rain change? What happened to Lencho's field? Question number 10. What were Lencho's feelings when the hail stopped? Question number 11. What did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? 12. What made Lencho angry? Question number 13. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter to God? Last question but not the least. In this page, who does Lencho think has taken the rest of the money? What is the irony in the situation? Next question. Who was Lencho? That was repeated once again. And what circumstances forced him to write a letter to God? It means the question already got, but there is variation. The type of the question is different. So you should not be confused. Give a character sketch of Lencho. Sketch the character of the postmaster. That is also very important. So here about the author, some information had been given. I hope you can be able to understand and answer all the questions, and I will try to cover up the remaining parts in next of my video. Thank you for watching my channel.